Alright, so in this video, we're going to get into how to create and edit the pages of your website from the administrative end. So I'm going to switch over to the dashboard here. When you log in, you'll be brought to the dashboard. And when you come down to the left column here, you're going to hover over content. And this is where you will find the different types of content that you can publish. And what we want to do is go to pages. That is where we will create our pages. Now, you might already have a page created that you want to edit, or you may want to create a new one. So we're going to click Add New and start to create a new page. All right, so now that the new page is started, what we're going to do is we're going to create the title for our page. So it might be your About pages or your services page or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it Test for this. And then we're going to use the Divi Builder. We're going to launch the Divi Builder. This is the theme that we have installed on the websites. And I use that exclusively because it is such an awesome theme with so many ways to design your page. Now, once it loads up here, you can see it's giving you three options. If you are creating a new page, when you have an existing page, it won't ask this. But if you create a new one, it's going to ask you, what do you want to do? Do you want to build from scratch, use a pre-made layout, or clone one of your existing pages? For the example of this video, I'm going to go to Browse Layouts, and we're going to find the right layout that we want for our business or the page that you're creating. And so you can see here, there's a total of 911 layouts so far. There are more being added all the time. You can search by typing in a name to see what comes up, or you can look at certain industries to see what they have to offer. I am going to go to the services category, and you can see out of the services, we have 64 layout packs and 468 different layouts. So even though we're using templates, there's such a wide variety that you can use here. It's very unlikely that someone in your competitive area is going to have the exact same template. Plus, you can customize it after you install it. Very flexible. So scrolling down here, you can see we have, again, lots of different options here as to what we want to use. I am going to scroll down here. Let's see which one we will pick. Let's go with, having a hard time picking. So many different good ones here. Let's go with personal trainer. You can see as I hover over it, it kind of scrolls through the feature page to give you a little bit of insight of what it looks like. But when you click on it, you get to see now some other options. There is, you can see the landing is highlighted. This is the landing page. But you can click and you can see the About page, the blog page, the contact page. So you have all these different layouts for this essential theme for personal trainer that you can utilize, and you can scroll down here and you can have a look at what's available. So I'm going to stick with the landing page, and I'm going to click Use this layout. And so now what that is doing is loading the layout on this. It might take a minute to do so. All right, so the layout has now loaded, and you can see this is the back-end editor. It might look a little confusing at first. The important thing to learn and remember is that the way this works is much kind of like a spreadsheet maybe. You have a section, which they call the header, and every section must have a row. And so you've got a row here. Now a row can have a certain amount of columns. In this case, it has 2 columns. As for this row, you can clearly see has 1 column, this one has 3. You can adjust the amount of columns by clicking right here and specify how many columns you want your row to have. Now, I personally don't like building on the back end of the website because, well, you have to really think about where stuff is, what it looks like. You're really missing that visual representation. Okay, So what you can do is you can either save this as a draft, or you can publish this page so that you can access it from the front end. You can also click this button here to bring you to the front end, but again, I like to save it first. So I'm going to hit publish. It's going to load here for a second, and it's going to save for us. All right, so it is just reloading up here. Sometimes it takes a minute as it's saving all that data. Just depends on how big your site is and the hosting plan that you're on. So now that it's refreshed, I'm going to click to build on the front end. Again, this may take 20-30 seconds for it to load for you, depending on how fast your server is. Alright, so now that this has loaded on the front end, it looks just like a regular web page. You scroll down, you can see all of your content on the page. Now the difference is when you start to mouse over it, you start to see things that get highlighted as you are moving over stuff. So again, when I hover over, keep in mind the blue bar indicates a section. It is a full section of the web page, as where the green is the row within the section, and within the section you can have modules, and whenever you hover over a module you get to see the gray bar. We've got some videos that go into explaining all the different modules and the way you can really customize and dial this thing in. But again, the purpose of this video here to get us going is to grab a design, pull it together, and slap your content in. And so you can easily do that by just coming here and you can click on the gear for that module where it says invest in your health, right? You can just come in here and you can customize it. I'm just putting S on there for the sake of it, and you can see it changed the text there. The same thing here. You can click on the gear for personal trainer, right? And let's say personal trainers. Sometimes you can get in here, you can actually click and you can actually edit the text right in there. You'll see this module is actually set to always be in uppercase, so no matter if you're upper or lowercase, this particular module will always do it as uppercase. To come from out of editing, you just come out and you click off of it. Here's the call to action button. Again, hit the gear in here. Get started, right? Let's change this to start now. And you can move this editor here so you can see what you're doing. You can also resize this editor quite beautifully. And then the link here is where you would paste the link of where you want the Start Now button to go to, right? So maybe it's another page on the website. Maybe it's a off-site somewhere. You paste it in there, choose if you want to open a new tab or in the same window. Hit the checkbox once you're finishing editing that module. You can go through this entire page and edit all the modules. So I'm clicking this one here. I'm looking to see how this image is put in here. I actually think it's a background for the cell, so let's hit the gear here. And you can see it's the column 1 background image. You can click on it, browse your computer for files, come to the library, pick your own image by clicking once on it, click upload image, and now it's switching the image to a different one. So pretty easy to work your way around, make some slight changes, change your content in here, type up your content. When you are completely done, you can come up to click Exit Visual Builder, and it will usually ask you to save your content first. Sometimes I've had it not, so I'd rather click on the purple button here, which opens up a bunch of options, and you click the green Save button, and that will save. You'll see it's loading. It'll have a check mark when it is finished saving the page for you. There you go. Now let's just say you pick this layout for the page, and after looking at it, you have figured out, wait a minute, I don't want this. Click on this plus button here, and again, it's going to bring you back to the options to change your layout. Now you will lose any content that you've made, but you can come in here and say use this layout. If this is checked, it's going to replace your content you have. If it's unchecked, it will actually build this whole layout at the bottom of your page, which is really cool. But I'm going to overwrite it, check it, and you're going to see here in a second this is going to load up and replace the layout that we have. Right here, just loading up, bang, here's the new layout. So again, keep in mind, you don't have to use the one specific to your industry. If you like one that's from another industry and you really just like the layout, you can go ahead and then pop it in here and then make the customizations yourself to the content. Like just say, you want to replace this image with something slightly different, you can definitely do so. Bang, we just changed an image. We can change the background here. So lots of flexibility. You like this layout, but you're the personal trainer, right? Bang, do some more switching. So lots of flexibility in changing that. So let's go to the exit the builder. As you can see, it said save and exit. And now it's just basically going to come to the front end of the page the way the public would see it when they come to your website. All right, so that's finished loading, and you can see the page using the layout that we picked is in here. So that is how you quickly pull in a layout for a page that you want and quickly edit the content. Again, we're going to have other videos that go more in depth on all of the pieces and how they all work. But again, the idea of this is for you to pull in a layout and just quickly slap in some changes to get what you want to get your website going. We'll catch you on the next video.